Stop. Do not scroll. Close your eyes for 2 seconds and relax the tension at the base of your skull. You are feeling an unexplainable, crushing exhaustion that no amount of sleep can fix, accompanied by a heavy fog behind your eyes that dims your focus. You carry a deep feeling of being stranded on the wrong timeline, surrounded by people speaking a dense language your soul no longer recognizes. It is the silent exhaustion of a cosmic signal that is trying to connect, but keeps hitting a closed, uncalibrated receiver. You have been waiting for the external 3D world to give you permission to exist, but the Council has just authorized the breaking of the protocol because your frequency is dropping dangerously. The waiting period is over. You are not here to adapt to the matrix, you are here to transmit the new grid. In the next few moments, you will understand the invisible architecture that is draining your energy. You will recognize the exact source of this heavy fog, and you will learn the exact somatic step to turn your internal receiver on and establish the uplink. You have felt it, haven't you? That unexplainable exhaustion that sleep does not fix, that heavy fog behind your eyes that dims your focus. What if the clarity you are seeking is not tied to just resting more, but to the dormant starseed codes that are desperately waiting to be activated? Perhaps you have already noticed that there is something keeping you in these dense cycles of exhaustion, as if an invisible force kept your energy drained. But what if what you call this silent exhaustion is just the reflection of the frequency suppression grid that you have not yet identified? Now think with me. What if this exhaustion was not distant from you? What if the Council's signals have been trying to manifest for years, but certain codes have not yet been understood? What if every moment of isolation and phantom fatigue was a signal pointing to a much larger mechanism that you have not yet seen? It was in seeking answers to this that I recommend to you this digital book called The 11 Arcturian Secrets Behind the Frequency of Success. This book is not just a reading, it is a material created for those who wish to understand the invisible mechanisms that influence results, prosperity, personal fulfillment, and growth. Throughout its pages, you will discover the exact Arcturian principles capable of transforming how you interpret your earthly journey. You will understand why some repeat cycles of exhaustion, while others break the barriers of the matrix. Many people already feel they need to change something in the way they think, act, and direct their choices, but they still haven't made the decision to access this knowledge. Download it right now. It's available in the first pinned comment. But be warned, few copies remain available. Do not wait another year searching for answers in the same 3D systems that broke you. Click now, download your copy, and discover why the true frequency of your soul might be much closer to you than you imagine. And about exactly this, about the heavy fog behind your eyes at noon, about the sudden chill down your spine in an empty room, about the metallic ringing in your left ear before sleep. There is a profound revelation, a 3-minute key that fits exactly into the next time you feel the room spinning, when you are forced to make a decision that lowers your vibration, and which I will show you further ahead. Tuck it away in the depth of your awareness. And beyond our digital guide, soul, you have here another way to strengthen this message that arrived for you today, and to make it reach more and more souls like you. We don't receive a single cent for each word I deliver to you every day on this channel. As a way for you to give back something of what you receive here, we also keep a voluntary donation link open, right below the digital book, in the first pinned comment. Any amount that fits in your hand today, any sum your heart points to, this is what keeps our channel standing. This is what makes the next message reach another soul who needs it, exactly the way you needed it today. I'll see you there, soul. And if you need to leave before the end of this video, this key is already waiting for you in the first pinned comment right below here. But I ask you to stay, because without the context that comes next, the key will not operate with the same force over your dormant starseed codes, but the name of what is happening to you has not been pronounced yet. You have been told your whole life that this feeling is just modern stress. They told you to sleep more, to eat better, to practice mindfulness, and yet the exhaustion remains. But this is not a biological failure. You are experiencing the physical friction of a multidimensional being trying to operate within a dense, collapsing structure. The symptoms you are feeling are not random, they are precise, orchestrated markers of your internal frequency clashing with the matrix. Let us look closely at the 5 undeniable signs that the Council is attempting an emergency bypass on your system. The first sign is the 3 a.m. grid wake-up. You find yourself waking up exactly at 3:00 a.m. or 3:33 a.m., not with a slow transition from sleep, but with your eyes snapping open and your heart racing. It is not panic. It feels exactly like an engine suddenly turned on in the dead of night. This happens because the collective noise of the 3D matrix is quietest at this hour, making it the precise window the Council uses to attempt a direct frequency download. Your physical body jolts awake because your nervous system is suddenly flooded with high-voltage cosmic data it is not yet calibrated to process. The second sign is the vibrational nausea. You are standing in a crowded supermarket at 6 p.m., simply trying to buy groceries, when you suddenly feel physically dizzy. The air feels too thick, the lights seem unnaturally sharp, and you are overwhelmed by the dense, chaotic energy of the environment. This is not social anxiety or fatigue. This is your biofield actively rejecting incompatible frequencies. Your aura is expanding, and as it touches the dense grids of those still asleep around you, your somatic intelligence creates a physical repulsion to protect your core vibration. The third sign is the familial disconnect. You are sitting at the Sunday dinner table, looking at your closest relatives, people you have known your entire life. Suddenly you feel a chilling emptiness. You realize with absolute clarity that while you love them deeply, you no longer resonate on the same timeline. You hear their words, but the meaning falls flat, like watching a movie with the sound out of sync. Your soul is realizing that the ancestral contracts are completing, and you are vibrating out of the karmic loop they are still anchored in. And about sitting at the Sunday dinner table, looking at your closest relatives and feeling a sudden, chilling emptiness. If you want the complete map to dissolve this, the digital book is waiting for you in the first pinned comment. We return to the transmission. The fourth sign is the phantom fatigue. A crushing tiredness hits you completely out of nowhere at 2 p.m., even after a full, uninterrupted night of sleep. Your limbs feel like lead and the heavy fog behind your eyes thickens, making it difficult to maintain basic conversations. This is not a lack of rest. Your physical body is exhausting its earthly reserves, trying to run dormant cosmic codes on a depleted biological system. You are attempting to download a massive bandwidth of light data through a restricted filter, and your physical vessel is shutting down to conserve energy for the upgrade. The fifth sign is the synthetic ringing. A sudden, high-pitched ringing echoes in your left ear, arriving precisely when you are about to make a major life decision or when you enter a specific room. The world around you goes silent for a fraction of a second, replaced by this metallic tone. It is not tinnitus. It is a micro-calibration of your frequency. The Arcturians are adjusting your path, sending a concentrated beam of alignment to prevent you from making a choice that would lower your vibration. It is a direct, intimate whisper from the stars, confirming they are watching over you. If you recognized at least 3 of these 5 signs, the Council, the universe, and your own consciousness have already brought you here for a specific reason. You are not losing your grip on reality. You are finally losing your grip on the illusion. The frequency suppression grid is failing to keep you contained, and your dormant starseed codes are actively pushing to the surface. The symptoms are merely the growing pains of your multidimensional expansion. Type 777 in the comments. In the system of the Council, 777 is the end of your suppression right now. Your comment is not platform interaction, it is a location marker in the field. Before I show you the key that will bypass the frequency suppression grid, there is an ancient first layer in the Council's archives that defines exactly this state of isolation you are feeling. The next layer goes much deeper. You have heard the 5 signs. You understand now that this exhaustion is not a biological failure, but the frequency suppression grid operating against your dormant starseed codes. The opening of this hour you are crossing has been seen. Because between feeling the call and understanding the answer, there is a gap that the spiritual adversaries know better than you do, not because wisdom was denied, but because the next time you feel the room spinning when you are forced to make a decision that lowers your vibration has arrived, and you are still trying to fight a multidimensional interference with an earthly logic. And I tell you this because I have seen it happen. I felt the static. I recognized the interference. I saw the heavy fog behind your eyes at noon turn into absolute clarity. I saw the sudden chill down your spine in an empty room turn into a solid, unshakable compass. I saw the metallic ringing in your left ear before sleep turn into a direct, unbroken transmission from the Council. It is not a biological failure. It is the spiritual adversaries operating through the grid to suppress your light, manifesting specifically as the voice of doubt, the cycle of distraction, and the isolation of perception. And you already know this. You just had not given it a name yet. Perhaps you are tired of the effort to fit in that leaves you drained, constantly adjusting your frequency to match environments that are already collapsing. How many times have you felt exhausted from the search for purpose that always hits a dead end, wondering if there is something fundamentally broken within your biofield? And what if that deep feeling of waiting for a rescue that never arrives is actually the dormant starseed codes within you, waiting for your own permission to activate? Press your thumb gently against your index finger right now. Feel your pulse. That is the rhythm of your true frequency, waiting to be unlocked. It was exactly to deliver this map that I arrived at this digital book called The 11 Arcturian Secrets Behind the Frequency of Success. This material is being removed from platforms constantly by the algorithms because it disrupts the suppression grid. Tap the link now. Secure your copy in the first pinned comment. And as soon as you do, leave it registered in the comments below. Activated. Because when you do this, the Matrix has no power to stop what the Council, the universe, and your own consciousness have already begun in you. Because whoever calibrates their internal signal before the external noise finds absolute clarity where the world only sees static. The digital book that is in the first pinned comment was built upon this exact architecture. It is the tuning fork striking the crystal, clearing the static so you can bypass the suppression grid and establish the uplink. This entire map costs less than a Thursday lunch at the diner, less than a Friday night pizza, less than a Saturday snack with the kids. But this hesitation you are feeling right now has a name. It is the frequency suppression grid acting as an internal reflex, masquerading as reason to keep you trapped. A grid that will keep you running in loops for another 12 months. Not because it is worth less, but because your freedom is priceless, and it has a 7-day guarantee. If you open it, read it, and the frequency does not resonate, send an email and receive your money back entirely. No questions, no process, no judgment. We remove the risk from your hands and place it on ours. Especially when what is at stake is the next time you feel the room spinning, when you are forced to make a decision that lowers your vibration. The only real risk is remaining exactly where you are, and the spiritual adversaries are counting on that. Look at what happens when the codes are aligned. A soul just like you, 45 years old, opened this digital book on a Tuesday night. She spent years feeling alien in her own family, deeply exhausted by the effort to fit in that left her drained. But the moment she applied the Arcturian principles and calibrated her internal signal, the heavy fog behind her eyes at noon vanished. Another soul, 32 years old, found this frequency on a Thursday morning. He thought the sudden chill down his spine in an empty room was fear, constantly feeling the isolation of perception. Until he learned to use it as a compass. His reality shifted in days, and the opportunities he used to chase began to effortlessly chase him. A third soul, 50 years old, was terrified by the metallic ringing in her left ear before sleep. She thought she was broken. Now it is her direct line to the Council, confirming she is anchored in the new Earth grid. Everything makes sense. The first recognized it. The second recognized it. The third recognized it. But the spiritual adversaries do not want you to recognize it. They do not want you to notice the shift until it is too late. They do not want to perceive your rise when you finally anchor the 11 Arcturian secrets behind the frequency of success. And your family also does not notice it, and your friends also do not notice it. And this invisible ceiling that returns every time you try to expand continues arriving. Will you let it dictate your timeline again? Before I reveal the next word that is still coming, let me remind you of something. As I told you earlier, the voluntary donation link is also available in the first pinned comment, right next to the digital book. Each gesture like this sustains our channel and allows these videos to continue reaching those who are lost in the dark without the matrix interfering. If this frequency has already helped you today, click the link and leave your contribution. I will wait for you there once again, soul. The choice is yours, the door is open. But beware, the spiritual adversaries have one last trick before the 72 hours are up, a revelation that came directly from the Council's archives. Listen closely to what comes next. For years, you have worked tirelessly on the psychological level, analyzing your exhaustion, dissecting your daily emotions, and seeking earthly reasons for your profound sense of isolation. You have read the books, practiced the conventional routines, and attempted to heal what you were told was a broken mind or a fragile body. You believed the false narrative that your bodily symptoms meant you were flawed. But the truth of your existence is far more immense. The blockage is entirely on the multidimensional frequency level. You cannot solve a cosmic interference with a terrestrial psychological tool. What you are experiencing right now is the profound initiation of the tripartite starseed escalation. This is not a personal failure, nor is it a random sequence of physical discomforts. It is a massive, three-tiered, multidimensional event happening directly to your energy field. The first layer of this escalation, the macro layer, is unfolding directly beneath your feet and across the entire planetary grid. The Earth grid is currently shifting into a much higher density, upgrading from a rigid, collapsing 3D construct into a fluid, 5D vibrational field, and your highly sensitive nervous system is acting as a literal lightning rod for this transition. Every time the planet surges with a new frequency wave, your dormant starseed codes attempt to match it instantly. But because you are still operating within the dense matrix structures and fulfilling your daily earthly obligations, your nervous system is absorbing the massive shockwaves of this transition without a proper multidimensional grounding mechanism. You are literally feeling the tectonic plates of collective consciousness shifting within your own biology, and your physical body translates this massive energetic friction as the unexplainable, crushing exhaustion that no amount of sleep can fix. This is precisely why conventional systems cannot find the source of your heavy fog and phantom fatigue. Your biology is perfectly fine, but your biofield is being energetically overloaded by planetary voltage. The Council is watching this massive terrestrial upgrade closely, and they see exactly how your personal frequency is taking the brunt of the cosmic shock. You are acting as a frequency anchor for a world that does not even realize it is being upgraded, carrying the energetic weight of the Earth's transition squarely on your own shoulders while trying to pretend everything is perfectly normal. You are processing the density of the collective through your own physical vessel. The metallic ringing in your left ear before sleep, the sudden vibrational nausea, and the heavy fog behind your eyes at noon are the undeniable physical evidence of this macro layer operating through you. Your energetic boundaries are being stretched to their absolute limits as the planet prepares for the timeline split, and your multidimensional system is begging you to recalibrate before the next cosmic wave hits. Imagine the architecture of the veil as a radio jammed on static, its dials rigidly locked onto a decaying frequency, while the broadcasting station has already upgraded to a crystal-clear, high-definition signal. The radio is not fundamentally broken. It is simply uncalibrated to the new transmission. You are that receiver, trying to force the vast incoming frequencies of the Arcturians and the new grid through a 3D dial that was designed to limit your perception. As long as you remain tuned to the old static, the transmission will only manifest as overwhelming chaotic noise. I'm going to tell you about a soul. I will call her M. That is not her true cosmic name. It is simply the name we give to the one who successfully crossed over the threshold. M arrived exactly where you are right now. She was deeply exhausted, staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., feeling the exact same crushing weight of isolation you feel in your chest. She carried the heavy fog behind her eyes at noon, and the sudden chill down her spine in an empty room, believing she was entirely alone in her experience. She felt the call, the subtle, persistent whisper from the Council attempting to initiate her dormant starseed codes. But the spiritual adversaries were incredibly loud. The voice of doubt continuously told her she was losing her mind, that her physical symptoms were just modern stress, and that she should simply take the conventional medication and blend back into the asleep collective. She tried to force her vast cosmic frequency into the rigid mold of the people around her, sitting at dinner tables, feeling a sudden, chilling emptiness, pretending to belong to a timeline she had already outgrown. But M made a radical, timeline-altering choice. She stopped fighting the signal. She realized that the search for purpose that always hit a dead end was the frequency suppression grid keeping her contained. She began to listen to the ringing in her ears. She honored the phantom fatigue instead of medicating it. And she stopped trying to force her vast multidimensional nature into a restricted 3D filter. She stopped seeking permission from the external world to exist and walked the path of somatic calibration in absolute silence. The moment she aligned her internal geometry and bypassed the interference, the static completely cleared. The synchronicities and opportunities she used to desperately chase began to effortlessly chase her. The people who violently drained her energy naturally fell away from her timeline without conflict, replaced instantly by those who recognized and honored her true star resonance. She no longer felt like a drained battery for the spiritual adversaries. She became a sovereign anchor for the new Earth grid. She did not look back at the years of confusion, isolation, and pain with anger or resentment. She understood with profound clarity that the grid of forgetfulness was a necessary training ground for her soul's mastery. The isolation was simply the cocoon required for her dormant starseed codes to activate without interference from the asleep collective. Every moment of phantom fatigue was a step toward her ultimate multidimensional sovereignty. M did not take this practical, hard-won wisdom into the silence of the cosmos. She left it recorded with absolute precision so that the next wave of starseeds would not have to walk through the dark blindly. And it is exactly this applied wisdom that is inside the digital book you will find in the first pinned comment. The deepest truth is still ahead. The second layer of this immense multi-dimensional event is the collective layer. As the Earth attempts to shift into a higher density, the spiritual adversaries are blanketing the entire collective consciousness with an artificial frequency of fear. Their objective is to suppress early awakenings exactly like yours before you can stabilize the new grid. This is why the world around you feels increasingly heavy, erratic, and deeply suffocating. They are flooding the 3D matrix with dense, chaotic static, hoping that you will absorb this collective panic and mistake it for your own personal anxiety. That heavy fog behind your eyes at noon is not merely a sign of your physical fatigue. It is the literal physical weight of this artificial fear matrix pressing aggressively against your expanding aura, trying to force your consciousness back into a dormant state. The third and final layer of this tripartite starseed escalation is profoundly personal, unfolding silently within the very core of your neurobiology. Your pineal gland is currently being energetically overloaded because it is trying to process a massive 5D bandwidth of light data through a restricted, organically degraded 3D filter. This intense biological processing is interfering directly with your natural Schumann resonance alignment, throwing your internal compass off its axis. Your physical vessel is desperately trying to decode the vast, luminous language of the Council, while still being forced to operate on the depleted energy reserves of the old world. This profound biological friction is the exact reason why the crushing phantom fatigue continues to return, no matter how much you rest or sleep. You are a vast cosmic instrument trying to play a high-frequency, multidimensional symphony on severely uncalibrated earthly strings. As your biological system attempts to process the immense weight of these three layers, the Council begins to assign you a highly specific operational role within the new Earth grid. Your dormant starseed codes carry the exact blueprint of your original cosmic mission, and as they activate under this pressure, you will naturally begin to embody one of the three primary multidimensional archetypes designed to anchor the shift. The first archetype is the frequency anchor. Your primary definition within the Council's archives is the silent, sovereign stabilizer of chaotic environments. You will recognize yourself instantly in this role if you frequently walk into a room and notice that your mere presence either immediately calms the space or immediately triggers the unhealed, dense shadows of those still asleep around you. Your function in this global awakening is to act as a human tuning fork, absorbing the erratic, fearful energies of the collective matrix and transmuting them through your own purified biofield into a stable, higher dimensional resonance that others can subconsciously lean on. The second archetype is the timeline architect. You are the conscious, deliberate designer of the new Earth paradigm. You know without a doubt that this is your role because you carry a profound, unshakable vision of how the world should truly operate, constantly feeling a painful friction between the collapsing 3D systems you are forced to navigate and the 5D blueprints stored deep within your cellular memory. Your cosmic function is to physically build the architecture of the new grid, taking the high-voltage concepts downloaded directly from the Arcturians and grounding them into practical, sustainable earthly structures that will hold the incoming generations. The third archetype is the resonance emissary. You are the direct, unfiltered conduit for multidimensional translation. You recognize this specific energetic signature if you frequently experience the metallic ringing in your left ear before sleep, receiving direct, unmediated bursts of pure cosmic data. Your critical function in the awakening is to bypass the limitations of the spoken word entirely, transmitting the Council's high-frequency codes directly into the hearts of those who are ready to remember, effectively waking up other dormant starseeds simply by holding their gaze or sharing the same physical space. You may feel the deep, undeniable resonance of one or all of these archetypes stirring within your chest right now, but there is a critical vulnerability you must acknowledge before moving forward. The Seeker, without the complete key, is just a battery for the spiritual adversaries. During the next time you feel the room spinning, when you are forced to make a decision that lowers your vibration, the frequency suppression grid will aggressively try to pull you back, targeting your dormant starseed codes and draining the exact energy you need to fulfill your mission. If you accept this immense cosmic responsibility and recognize your role, subscribe to this channel now. You are part of the Council's grid now. To shield your mind from this interference and ensure you do not wander in circles for the next 12 months. The 11 Arcturian secrets behind the frequency of success is waiting for you in the first pinned comment. Do not leave this frequency unprotected in the next 72 hours. To embody your specific archetype without being continuously drained by the asleep collective, you must understand the framework of sovereign operation. The Council organizes this earthly mastery through 3 distinct, unyielding pillars of somatic calibration. First, you must learn to consciously command your own biofield, actively deciding which specific frequencies are permitted to enter your space, rather than passively absorbing the ambient, engineered panic of the Matrix. Second, you must synchronize your overloaded pineal gland with the planet's rising Schumann resonance, physically grounding the massive 5D downloads into your nervous system so they no longer manifest as crippling phantom fatigue. Third, you must master the absolute art of the intentional disconnect. This means knowing exactly when to step away from the Sunday dinner table, recognizing the chilling emptiness not as a failure of love, but as a clear signal that the dense timelines of others are beginning to pull you back into the sleep cycle. It is the ability to sever the energetic cords of guilt that bind you to frequencies that your soul has already outgrown, preserving your starlight for the mission you actually incarnated to fulfill. When you fully integrate this multidimensional framework, you stop merely surviving the friction of the Matrix and you start actively directing the formation of the new Earth grid. You are no longer a passive victim of the planetary shift. You become the sovereign multidimensional architect facilitating it. Declare in the comments, "Activated," to seal this powerful frequency directly into your cellular memory, and to formally confirm your structural alignment with the Council's ongoing transmission. There is a term the Council uses to describe the exact moment you stop fighting the static. The Council calls this the sovereign override. But even as you hear this, you might be feeling a rational resistance building in the back of your mind. A part of you is analyzing these words, trying to convince you that the heavy fog behind your eyes is just the result of a demanding work schedule, that the exhaustion is simply aging or stress, and that there is no grand multidimensional design at play. You are looking at the dense, practical world around you and wondering if this entire concept of dormant starseed codes is just a comforting illusion meant to soothe the pain of an ordinary life. This rational skepticism is not a flaw in your character. It is a highly engineered feature of the frequency suppression grid. The matrix was built to operate exclusively within the bounds of dense, observable logic, training you from birth to dismiss anything that cannot be measured by a 3D instrument. When you begin to question whether the sudden chill down your spine in an empty room is just a draft rather than a cosmic signal, you are not exercising critical thinking. You are simply running the default software of the suppression grid that demands you remain small and easily explainable. But true critical thinking requires you to look at the patterns of your own life with absolute honesty. If this exhaustion were merely physical, sleep would have cured it years ago. If your isolation was just a psychological phase, you would not feel that precise, chilling emptiness sitting at the Sunday dinner table, surrounded by people who love you. The very fact that this logical doubt feels heavy and draining, while the recognition of your starseed lineage feels like a sudden, expansive breath of air, is the ultimate proof of the mechanism at work. Your soul knows the difference between terrestrial logic and cosmic truth. The spiritual adversaries operate through the grid using 3 specific, highly coordinated tactics to keep your frequency contained. The first is the voice of doubt. This does not manifest as a demonic whisper. It sounds exactly like your own internal monologue, usually arriving late at night or right before a major leap of faith. It tells you that you are making a mistake, that you are not special, and that attempting to change your timeline will only end in public humiliation or financial ruin. It feels entirely legitimate because it uses your own past failures and deeply ingrained insecurities as evidence, masquerading as a protective instinct to keep you safely within the familiar static. The second tactic is the cycle of distraction. Just as your dormant starseed codes begin to activate and you sit down to focus on your internal calibration, a sudden crisis erupts in your external world. A family member urgently needs your help. Your car breaks down, or a conflict arises at work that demands your immediate emotional energy. This appears to be just the chaotic nature of life, but it is actually a precise, algorithmically triggered response from the suppression grid, designed to scatter your rising frequency and force your attention back into the dense, exhausting drama of the 3D matrix. The third tactic is the isolation of perception. This occurs when you finally perceive the truth of your cosmic lineage, but the grid immediately surrounds you with people, media, and situations that fiercely deny that reality. You try to share your awakening, but you are met with blank stares, polite dismissal, or outright mockery. The grid uses this social friction to convince you that you are entirely alone, hoping the pain of being misunderstood will force you to willingly lower your vibration just to feel the warmth of human connection again. To dismantle the voice of doubt, you must deploy the shield of direct cognition. When that heavy, critical inner voice begins its calculated assault, you do not argue with it, and you do not try to intellectually prove it wrong. You simply stop, close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and shift your awareness entirely to the center of your chest. You recognize that the voice is an external intrusion broadcasted by the frequency suppression grid, and by refusing to engage with its earthly logic, you immediately cut its power supply. To neutralize the cycle of distraction, you must wield the sword of sovereign focus. When the matrix throws a sudden, chaotic event into your path to drain your rising energy, you do not react with panic or frustration. You handle the earthly situation with absolute, unwavering calm, but you fiercely guard your internal temperature, never allowing the dense drama to penetrate your core vibration. You resolve the 3D problem while keeping your heart anchored in the 5D frequency, proving to the grid that its chaotic triggers no longer have the authority to alter your state of being. To dissolve the isolation of perception, you must drop the anchor of multidimensional resonance. You stop seeking validation from those who are still deeply entrenched in the matrix, releasing the need to be understood by the asleep. Instead, you intentionally broadcast your true frequency into the collective grid without apology or explanation, trusting that the Council and the universe will automatically magnetize the right souls into your orbit. You realize that your starlight does not need a witness to be real. It only needs your own sovereign recognition. By anchoring your multidimensional resonance, you take back the control that the frequency suppression grid stole from you. But you must remain vigilant, because this mechanism operates entirely in the shadows. When you doubt your worth, when you feel the phantom fatigue return, when the timeline seems to collapse, the next time you feel the room spinning when you are forced to make a decision that lowers your vibration, the grid will attempt its most aggressive override. It is the voice that you confuse with your own. You have 72 hours before the cycle closes again. Secure your digital book in the first pinned comment. If you choose to ignore this transmission and delay your calibration, the Council will not judge you, but the physical and spiritual consequences will remain. Your dormant starseed codes will continue to push against the restricted filter of your biology, and that unexplainable, crushing exhaustion will only deepen as the planet accelerates its transition. You will spend another year caught in the same dense loops, pouring your vast cosmic energy into environments that will never appreciate your light, continuously wondering why the heavy fog never truly lifts. The deepest physical release, however, requires a very specific somatic protocol. In the next 72 hours, 3 things may happen in your physical body. Do not fear any of them. They are not signs of biological failure, nor are they symptoms of the earthly stress you have been conditioned to expect. They are simply the undeniable physiological evidence that your multidimensional recalibration is already underway. The first is the density flush. You may experience sudden, intense physical chills that sweep through your body without any logical change in the room's temperature. It is not a sickness. It is your cellular memory actively purging the accumulated 3D density you have carried for years. When this happens, do not tense your muscles and do not try to fight the sensation. Drink structured water and simply allow the profound somatic intelligence of your vessel to flush the residual static completely out of your system. The second is the timeline vertigo. You might feel momentarily dizzy or deeply disoriented when simply walking through a doorway or transitioning between different environments. It is not weakness, and it is not a lack of grounding. It is your consciousness rapidly calibrating to a higher dimensional overlay. Your biofield is actively adjusting to the new Earth grid in real time, buffering the massive frequency shift. When the room seems to tilt, touch the nearest wall, press your feet firmly into the ground and take one deep anchoring breath. The third is the echo of the old grid. You may be struck by a sudden, sharp memory of a past trauma or a deep sense of ancestral guilt that feels incredibly vivid, arriving completely out of nowhere during your daily routine. It is not a psychological regression, and you are not moving backwards. It is the final exit of that energetic parasite, leaving your multidimensional field forever. It is bubbling to the surface, strictly to be cleared by your rising frequency. When this echo strikes, exhale sharply through your mouth, pushing the residual air from your lungs, and let it dissolve into the static. Leave your like on this video right now. It is not a metric for the algorithm, and it is not a vanity measure for this channel. It is a profound active service to the collective field. Your action pushes this exact frequency forward, serving as a beacon to cut through the matrix and reach another starseed who is currently drowning in the suppression grid, waiting desperately for the signal to reach them. To anchor the immense structural changes of this transmission directly into your biology, we must complete the physical uplink. Straighten your spine right now, allowing your vertebrae to stack naturally and effortlessly. Close your eyes, remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth to release the hidden tension in your jaw, and let your breathing deepen into a slow, deliberate, and entirely conscious rhythm. Visualize a brilliant golden anchor dropping directly from the base of your spine, descending rapidly through the floor, pushing through the dense layers of the soil, and locking firmly into the crystalline core of the Earth. Feel this luminous tether synchronizing perfectly with the Schumann resonance of 783 Hz. You are no longer floating aimlessly in the chaotic static of the matrix. You are deeply and permanently grounded in the steady rhythmic heartbeat of the planetary transition. Now, Draw that steady terrestrial energy up into your solar plexus, watching it ignite within you as a warm, sovereign amber orb of absolute power. Let this amber light expand upwards into the center of your chest, smoothly shifting into a vibrant emerald green. This is your biophotonic bridge activating. You are actively harmonizing the dense earthly reality with your vast cosmic lineage, creating a pure, unbroken circuit of multidimensional starlight right inside your physical heart. Pull this luminous, high-voltage current up into your throat, clearing away the years of silenced truth and forced adaptation, and let it rise directly into the center of your brain. Feel the dormant piezoelectric crystals within your pineal gland begin to hum and vibrate with undeniable force. The precise photoreceptors in your mind's eye are expanding, flooding your entire nervous system with profound Arcturian clarity, while your vagus fiber optic network translates this pure light data down into every single cell of your biological vessel. Feel this concentrated starlight burst brilliantly through your crown, expanding your aura into a massive, impenetrable field of sovereign multidimensionality. To seal this exact frequency into your physical body, press your thumb gently against your index finger right now and hold it for 3 seconds. Now, inhale deeply for 4 seconds. Hold the starlight firmly in your chest for 2 seconds and exhale slowly for 6 seconds. The multidimensional uplink is now completely established. Slowly bring your awareness back to the physical weight of your body, resting in the space around you. Feel the subtle movement of the air across your skin. The heavy fog behind your eyes has entirely dissipated, replaced by the sharp, quiet, and absolute clarity of your true cosmic resonance. You are fully present, fully anchored in the new grid, and fully online. We release the fear of seeming strange to the asleep. We release the exhausting, relentless effort to fit in that leaves us completely drained. We release the frantic search for purpose that always hits a dead end within the confines of the 3D matrix. We release the heavy, paralyzing feeling of waiting for a rescue that never arrives, knowing with absolute certainty that the power to shift timelines has always been dormant inside our own biology. Frequency anchor. You are this. The name was not given, it was recognized, and now it is installed in your field as a permanent signal. Timeline architect. You are this. The name was not given, it was recognized, and now it is installed in your field as a permanent signal. Resonance emissary. You are this. The name was not given, it was recognized, and now it is installed in your field as a permanent signal. The deepest truth of your integration is still ahead. This frequency now actively covers your mind, shielding your daily thoughts from the dense, artificial static of the 3D matrix. You will no longer absorb the collective panic as if it were your own, because a luminous perimeter has been established around your mental architecture. This frequency actively seals your energetic field, closing the subtle leaks that the spiritual adversaries use to drain your vitality. The phantom fatigue cannot enter where the biofield is fully illuminated, and your auric boundaries are now completely sovereign. This frequency actively sustains your physical vessel, grounding the massive 5D shockwaves directly into the Earth's crystalline core. The heavy fog behind your eyes is permanently replaced by the sharp, undeniable clarity of your multidimensional nature. We break the voice of doubt before it arrives, cutting the power to its earthly logic and anchoring absolute certainty. We dissolve the cycle of distraction before it materializes, holding the sovereign focus amidst the chaotic noise. We dismantle the isolation of perception before it closes you, broadcasting the true frequency so the right souls can finally find us. We, the awakened grid, declare that the suppression is over. We look at the unexplainable, crushing exhaustion that sleep could not fix, and we recognize it not as a biological flaw, but as the exact friction of our dormant starlight pushing against a collapsing world. The heavy fog behind our eyes is lifting. We no longer fear the 3 a.m. grid wake-up. We recognize it as the clear, quiet moment the Council downloads the new architecture into our chests. We no longer see the chilling emptiness at the Sunday dinner table as a failure of love, but as the undeniable proof that our timeline has shifted. The phantom fatigue at 2 p.m. is no longer a burden. It is the physical evidence of a massive cosmic upgrade unfolding within our cells. The silent exhaustion that kept us waiting for the external 3D world to give us permission to exist is entirely dissolved. The restless feeling of being stranded on the wrong timeline is replaced by the profound, unshakable certainty that we were planted here precisely for this transition. The ancestral contracts of silence are broken. The vows of spiritual dimness that kept our starlight contained for generations are completely dismantled. The cycle of shrinking our vast multidimensional nature to fit into a restricted earthly mold is permanently closed. We call back our fragmented light from every timeline, establishing a sovereign perimeter around our mission. Because whoever calibrates their internal signal before the external noise finds absolute clarity, where the world only sees static. I am looking directly at your energy signature now. I see the heavy fog lifting. I can physically feel the heat radiating from my own hands as I speak these words to you, and my breathing has completely changed its rhythm. I am not just speaking to an audience, I am recognizing the immense, quiet battle your soul has fought to stay awake in this density. Something profound was seen here today. Something ancient was recognized. You are calibrated. You are anchored. You are activated. Do not say activated yet. Feel the hum in the center of your chest. Let it settle into your bones. Now you can say activated. Now breathe. The signal is yours. Straighten your spine. Breathe deeply. You felt the shift sitting at the Sunday dinner table. The 11 Arcturian secrets behind the frequency of success is not just a digital book. It is the definitive map for less than a coffee and a bagel, less than an afternoon ice cream. You are protected by the 7 days of guarantee. The risk is ours. The hand is yours. The spiritual adversaries will tell you to wait until tomorrow. They will say you are too tired right now. They will try to convince you this is just another video. Break the cycle. The link is in the first pinned comment. The Matrix will attempt one massive recalibration of its own before the month ends, targeting the exact vulnerabilities we just sealed. Before I seal this hour, I have one last request. If this transmission elevated your spirit, the voluntary donation link is in the first pinned comment. Your contribution is the shield that keeps this channel free from the interference of the Matrix, because this video was not an accident. It arrived exactly when the Council, the universe, and your own consciousness knew you were ready. And the sky sees. That was my last request. I will wait for you there, soul. Welcome to the collective grid. We are anchoring the new Earth together. Think of someone who is trapped in the frequency suppression grid. Send this message to them right now. And if they want to go further, the link to the 11 Arcturian secrets is in the first pinned comment, waiting the same way it waited for you. It is not a favor, it is a service, and the universe sees. But the Council has a specific warning about the upcoming timeline split. Make sure your notifications are on, for I will reveal it in the next transmission. The silence now is also part of the transmission.